So in the previous video, we had developed a little bit of a misfire. So today, we're gonna take the spark plugs out, clean them up, and re-gap them and see if they're even savable. Now this will probably be the third time I've cleaned and re-gapped, so we might just have to replace them. They might have just hit their point. But anywho, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and start unplugging these and removing them. Here's a few nice songs for you guys to enjoy. So here are our spark plugs. Now, from what I can see right away here, is some of these electrodes are a little bit shorter than the other, like on this one here and this one here. So they are getting pretty worn out, but this one right here is a little oily, so this one might have been backing off a little bit. This one here, I believe, is the one we definitely have fouling, because it is black. Very, very black. This one's black too, but it's shiny right on top, on the electrode in there. This one's not bad, and this one's not bad. And the misfire that we could hear was definitely only intermittent. It was here and there, so this spark plug was probably the one causing the problem. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all these up. Their crush washers look pretty okay still, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and clean them all up. I can see that this one here and this one here have been either in there longer or they've been swapped out. And I can tell that by the way this green looks on the very top of the spark plug here. So these ones and these ones are of different vintage. So anywho, clean them up. We'll check the gaps with this range of tools here. Really, we only need one, but I figured I'd pull them all out and show you guys. And if we still have issues and we're not having quite what we want, we can go ahead and test the spark from the spark plug wires with these tools here. The other thing I think we might do, just because we have the spark plugs out, we might do a compression test. But this thing was running just fine. It just sat for a while. So, and judging by the look of these spark plugs, I think it could either use a new set or we'll try to clean these ones up first. Anywho, see you guys at the parts washer. Alright, so now that we've got these all cleaned, and I put some sandpaper in between here and here just to kind of clean it up a little bit. Now we need to get our gap tools and check to see where we're at, because I know after we've sanded it, washed it, obviously there's going to be something that's changed here now. At least there's that possibility, but we're going to hope that we don't have to do anything and then it's just all going to be okie dokie. So we're going to use the 0.64 since the tolerance is 6mm to 7mm. So this is 0.64mm. So if that fits in there, so that fits in there with no resistance on that one. So that one might be at that 7 mark, which is okay. Go ahead and check the other ones now. So this one here is a bit tight, so I'm going to say it's right where it needs to be. So is this one here. This one right here is a bit loose, so we might need to just tap it in a little bit. And how we do that is just by, now that it's tapped in, we can check our gap, and now it's a little too tight. That's perfect. Now all we have to do is bend it out a little bit with our fingernail and put our gapper right back in it. Our gapper's still a little too tight, so we can bend that out now with this little tool on the back. Still a little bit. Oop, too big. Flip it around. There we go. Now we've got a little bit of resistance when we put that in there. So this one right here is at 0.64. The rest of these, they're pretty all right, but we're all within the same amount of space. So since these are at their correct spot, all nice and cleaned up, we can go ahead and throw them back in the car. Hold these for me, would you? All right, now that we've got all the spark plugs in, spark plug wires on, we're gonna go ahead and fire it up and see how she sounds. I definitely say that's a lot better. All right, well that pretty much concludes this video, and I think most of the projects on this Bug. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me along this little ride here. I think we've had 3 videos from it. Now, I think the next part that needs to happen is driving it around. But until then, thank you so much for joining me here at the garage. Go back and watch some of our older videos. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.